During the Renaissance, there were many advances in math, science, philosophy, and art. One of the greatest advancements in art during that time was the discovery of linear perspective. Linear perspective, also known as one-point perspective, was discovered in approximately 1420 by Brunelleschi. Linear perspective allows the artists to create depth, light, shade into their artwork, making a two-dimensional artwork seem three-dimensional. Some of the artists during the time of the Renaissance that used this method include Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. In linear perspective, there are parallel lines that recede into the distance, making it appear as if it was getting closer. There are several components of linear perspective. One main component is the vanishing point. The vanishing point is the point at which something appears to converge or meet in the middle. The next component is the horizon line. The horizon line is the first horizontal line where a vanishing point is. It divides the painting from the sky and the ground, as well as gives you an idea of the depth of the area the artist is trying to portray. The orthogonal line is a line pointing to the vanishing point. In conjunction with using the vanishing point, horizon line, and orthogonal line, it makes it seem like the objects that are larger are nearer to you, while the objects that are smaller seem further away from you.
Italian artists use this linear perspective to focus on the illusion of space from one fixed viewpoint. Pertaining to the early Renaissance, John Berger, an art historian, mentioned how the concept of one-point perspective ties into humanism. This is because one-point perspective got rid of multiple viewpoints. Thus, Italian Renaissance artists made this decision to focus on the individual. Contrastingly, during the High Renaissance, artists used linear perspective to establish realism in their artwork by using a two-dimensional medium to depict a three-dimensional scene. The focus was on making paintings seem both real and spiritual. The issue was, in the early Renaissance, artists did not know how to make a spiritual figure seem real without sacrificing certain spiritual aspects. High Renaissance art closed this gap. It encompassed realism and spirituality.
There are multiple examples of one-point perspective used in High Renaissance art. One example of this is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. Specifically, in this painting, the emphasis is on Christ, and the single vanishing point can be found at Christ's head. This is where all the orthogonal lines meet. In this manner, we know that the most important character in the painting is Christ. Additionally, another crucial characteristic of this painting to note is the horizon line. The eye levels of Christ and his apostles are all at eye level across what is the horizon line.
Michelangelo's Creation of Adam is in a section of the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Creation of Adam has two figures that dominate most of the artwork. The figure on the right is God, and the figure on the left is Adam. Michelangelo's Creation of Adam is a painting from the Renaissance using the linear perspective technique. The vanishing point of this painting is where the two fingers are about to meet. The horizon is like the imaginary horizontal line of where Adam and God's fingers meet. The horizontal line separates the painting into two halves, one half being the top part and the other being the bottom part. The octagonal line is somewhat imaginary. The angle of Adam and God are the octagonal lines. They are on a diagonal, pointing their body's attention to the center, which is where the fingers meet. The vanishing point is the most important part of the painting. The angle of the bodies, as well as the fingers meeting where the vanishing point is, suggests that that is the most important part of the painting, and that is where the most significant meaning is.
Raphael's The School of Athens is a second example of one-point perspective. In this artwork, the vanishing point is in between Plato and Aristotle's head. The floor tiles and the pillars come together at this point on the horizon line. For this reason, we know that Plato and Aristotle are the two most important figures in the scene. In addition, they are placed at the center of the archways. This is the area with the greatest assumed depth.